Welcome, welcome, welcome again to Accelerate Your Life 2020 and Beyond. My name is Fadhwa. Welcome again to my channel. I am so happy you're able to join me today. I have this question and answer, get to know me, Fadhwa. So here I have some questions that I printed out from online. And I thought, you know what a better way for my audience to get to know me a little bit. So I printed out a couple of questions. I'll be reading about 13 to 15 questions, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so first question, before I start, would be the one thing a lot of people ask me is, what's your name? And where did it come from? Well, my name is Fadhwa, and Fadhwa is an Arabic name. Its origin, I'm not sure where it came from, to be honest. But I know one thing for sure. My father named me Fadhwa. I spell it as Fadhwa. Now the meaning, as far as I know, it means sacrifice. It means giving. That's what it means. You give, you sacrifice yourself. You give yourself to others. That's what it means. In Arabic, for those who speak Arabic, they have a different interpretation. So I don't know, but I go with what I know so far. My name is super fine and I love my name. And to be honest with you, I've not met, apart from two people that I've met in my life, I've not met any other person who shares the same name with me. In fact, any Somali, because I'm Somalian, that's my origin, I'm Somalian. I've not met any Somalian with that name. I know my niece who lives in the US, my uncle named her after me, Fadhwa. I've not had a chance to meet her. Hopefully I'll do that one day. And then I met this young woman who had a little girl and she named her daughter. This was about 2 years ago. And she said, I named my daughter, your name. So those are the only two Somalis that I know of that have the same name as me. And then years ago, back in Toronto, I used to work in this boutique hotel in Toronto, downtown Toronto, front desk. And I had one of the guests come in and he saw my name tag and he says, is your name really Fadhwa? I said, yes. And he says, one moment. He goes up to his room, comes downstairs, and he says, Fadhwa, meet Fadhwa. Guess what? He brought his wife. She was so excited when he went up to their room and he said, I met Fadhwa. I met another Fadhwa. She was ecstatic. So when she came downstairs and she saw me, we hugged each other. She took a photo, of us together. And I really hope that whatever they are, Fadhwa, I hope wherever you are, you're happy and well and healthy, to be honest, because she was the first Fadhwa I ever met in my life. That was special. And then the second Fadhwa that I met personally also was about 2 years ago. And this was in Kitchener-Waterloo during the Syrian refugees resettlement program. And I was part of that initiative. And I was there. And I met this young woman from Syria. Her name was Fadhwa. And for her, it was normal because it's an Arabic name. So from where she's coming, she's met a lot of Fadhwas. For me, it was something new. So I am telling you, whoever is expecting any babies, any baby girl, you can carry on the name forward. I give you permission to carry the name forward. How about that? So that's where my name came from. Well, not necessarily where it came from, but you get a little bit of history about Fadhwa. Okay. So question number 1 is, what flavor of tea do you enjoy? I love spicy chai. I like tea with spice. I don't like bland tea. So spices are ginger, cardamom, cloves, a hint of pepper, black pepper, just a little bit. My friend makes amazing ginger tea. Anytime I go to her house, she'll be like, ginger tea, and I'm like, I'm in. And when I'm home here, I mix up those spices, grind them together, and just, mix it up with my tea, and I drink it, no sugar. Amazing. And it's healthy too. Okay. Second question. What is the one item you can't leave home without? Oh, wow. I know most people would say, and they will go with keys, cell phone. Yes, I've gone out even as early as yesterday, I left the house went to work. I remembered I didn't have my cell phone. I had to come back home, get my phone, and then went back to work. So that's just a normal thing. We forget our keys, we forget our cell phone. Let me tell you, the one thing I never forget and I never leave home without is my lipstick. You see that? Yes, that's the one thing I never leave home without. My headscarf is part of my clothing, so it does not count. But I'm telling you, lipstick, it goes back to my childhood. I remember sitting around. I used to love sitting around next to my aunties and my mom and, my cousins, and they were all, older than me. So I'll sit there and I'll just watch them, beautiful women, in the afternoon after they had lunch. They'll put on the eyeliner on, no makeup. The makeup for them was eyeliner and lipstick. And that's how I grew up with eyeliner and lipstick. And I'll just see them putting on their lipstick and I'll look at those beautiful, vibrant colors. I'll be like, my aunties are so beautiful. My mom is so beautiful. My cousins are so beautiful with all the lipstick, the color, the vibrance. Right up until today, to this day, my mother has the same habit, same thing. Even when she's home, you go visit her, she has her lipstick on. Now, I'll tell you something. When I'm home, I don't have my lipstick on. But the one thing, I will never walk out that door without. I have to have my lipstick on, even if it's just going to a grocery store. I gotta put on my lipstick. So for sure, one thing I will never live without is my lipstick. Okay, let's see here. What kind of books do you like to read? Well, I loved reading romance novels and fiction books, novels a while ago. Then I've transitioned to more things that I would be reading, things that would benefit me in self-development. I would read books like 7 Habits of Effective People. Now, this book, I actually bought it 2 years ago. But the first time I got a hold of that book was about 23 years ago, actually 24 years ago. 24 years ago. That's the time I read this book. And it changed how I saw things and my perception on things. And it was talking about choices, making a choice. 7 Habits of Effective People by Stephen Covey changed my life at a time where I was really, really struggling on making a decision. And that book just opened up doors for me. Opened doors for me. And to this day, I live by that. I have a choice. It changed how I think about things and how I make decisions. Okay, so the second book that I'm actually reading right now is by Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale. It's called, oh my God, if you don't have that book, please go get it. It's one of those books that you have to have in your shelves. It's a must-have. Okay, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. And this is one of those books that I'm reading on self-developing myself. So that's currently what I'm reading. Another book that I'm reading, I cannot call it a book. It's a holy scripture. It's the Quran. I take that every day. I wake up in the morning and that's the one thing I read after my morning prayers. It starts my day off beautifully, I'm telling you. Okay, so must-have books for those who are really looking to open their minds. You can find books that will help you get to the stage where you want in your life. And I'm telling you, reading opens up your mind. Knowledge, they always say knowledge is power. It's true. And you get that knowledge from reading. Okay. What was your first job? Oh my goodness. Do you ever remember one time that you do something and it will stick with you and never forget? Well, this has happened to me. So it's actually the 26th of December today. I'm shooting this video on the 26th of December. I am celebrating 24 years since I arrived in Canada. That was actually a day after today. That was yesterday, 25th of December, Christmas Day, I arrived in Canada. So today is my day 1 of the 25th year, entering 25th year. So I remember what it was like. I found this job. Okay, I went for this interview. They hired me with other groups of people, and they said, okay, here's your badge. Come in tomorrow morning at this time. So I went downtown. I don't even remember the name of the organization. So I went in and I'm thinking I'm going into an office. And the next thing they say, get into the van. So I'm thinking, I'm new to Canada, okay? I'm just like, I think 6 months into Canada. So I'm still new. I have no idea where to go. I'm still new with the area and I don't know what's happening. And it's not like I just came from Africa. I used to live in England. I just moved from England. So I knew, the skills and qualifications they're looking for. I had it. And I'm thinking, okay, that's why they hired me. I was clueless where they were taking me. So next thing I see, we get into this van and they drive us. I'm thinking, where are we going? Later on, I came to find out they took us to Ajax. They took us to Ajax. I've never been there before. First time. And remember, this is 24 years ago. Actually, 23 and a half years ago. So imagine how Ajax would have been. Ajax wouldn't be looking the same way as it is today. It was just bare, quiet area, not too many homes. And they just dropped us there. And they said, you have partners, you work in partners, and this is what you do, and we'll come and pick you up at 2 o'clock. And they just left us. So I'm here standing with this guy who's going to be my partner, working together. And I'm like, what are we supposed to do? He says, oh, you're supposed to knock on people's door. I didn't realize it was door-to-door job. You're knocking at people's doors and signing them on them to sign up for a gas, some sort of a gas, electricity, not electricity, but one of those gas companies. That's what it was. So you're signing them off to that. And then each lead you get, it's a commission. I didn't even realize it was a commission based. I thought it was hourly based. So I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, you telling me I'm going to be knocking at people's homes? He's like, yes. I said, okay. So I did it for an hour. Okay. He's on the opposite side of the road. So we're keeping an eye on each other. And for 1 hour, all I got was stairs at the door, bang. Stairs at the door, bang. They closed the door at me. An hour later, I walk up to the guy and said, you know what? I quit. Now he looks at me, he's like, and then what? I'm like, I'm going home. He's like, you know where you are? That's when it hit me. Okay, here I am, first day of my job. I quit within an hour. What am I to do? I have no idea where I am. I have no idea how to get to where I was to Scarborough. What am I to do? I had to keep him company right up until when they came to pick us up. Imagine that. So I'll go with him. Every door he knocked, I'll be with him. Whoever he spoke to, whoever didn't speak to him, I'll be there with him. And when 2 o'clock came, they picked us up. I said, don't say any word. As soon as they dropped us off, and that was the last day they saw me, I said, I'm not coming back. This is not for me. So whoever is doing this kind of work, I admire them because I know there are people who are really good at this. Kudos to you. Not for me. All right. Let's see. What is something that you've never done that you'd like to try? Okay, well, I have a fear of heights. I don't like going into these rides. Even when I take my kids, like I'll go with them to Canada's Wonderland. They'll be like, I'm like, no. We've been to London. We go to Thorpe Park. I got into this banana boat. It goes back and forth. I'm telling you, I felt like my neck was falling off my head. Literally, I just felt my neck and my head was separated. That's how it felt. I'm like, my neck is falling off. My neck is falling off. And everybody just kept laughing. You know, to them it was hilarious. And to me, it's like, come on, guys, I'm dying here. And that was a kid's banana boat ride. And I could not handle it. So imagine what other rides would do to me. So I would love to go on I know this is a stretch. I would go on a skydiving. I would love to do that. I would love to just explore that and just go in. Maybe, who knows, that will just take off that fear of height. Because for me, I'm okay going up. It's when I'm going down. That's when I feel like my heart is just, yeah. So that's the one thing I would like to do. Okay, let's see. Are you a fan of sports team? Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm a soccer fan. What do we call it here? Football? Or in the UK, Europe, they call it football. In North America, we call it soccer. Yes, I'm a soccer fan. I'm a football fan. I'm a Man United fan. Yes. And also, I go crazy when it's FIFA. I know it only happens every 4 years, but I go crazy. I'm telling you, when it's FIFA, we don't want to mess up with me. I start from beginning to end. I commit to that. I never miss a game. If I don't have to, I don't miss a game. Okay, but sports fan, absolutely Man United for sure. I love soccer. I grew up with that. That's how our childhood was. Even at school, we used to play soccer or football. Okay. How many countries have you been to? How many countries have I been to? Well, I've traveled. I travel a lot to UK, London, UK, because that's the first country we moved to back in the early 90s in Manchester and then London. So my family, my parents are in London, my siblings, I have a sister, I have 3 other brothers. So there's 5 of us, and I'm the eldest in the family. I always visit there. I have cousins, very close cousins, that are like my sister. One is like my sister to me, my second sister. And I have other cousins and uncles and aunties and nieces and nephews. So London is like my second home from Canada. So every other year, I usually take my kids. I have 2 kids with me. I usually take them there so they get to have that connection with the family. So I won't call that visiting. That's just a second home for me. So outside London, I've lived in Wales, in Cardiff, Wales. I've lived there. I have visited Somaliland, Hargeisa, Somaliland. Beautiful, beautiful country. I love it. Love the people and the food and the fresh organic food and the sun. Oh, I miss that. And then I was in Kenya too recently. Met up my family, my aunt. I met up my childhood friend. I met some old, faces that I had forgotten, neighbors and friends and family members. So that was nice. I've visited Dubai. I have some family members there. And I've been to Pakistan once with a friend for a wedding. So those are the only countries. And Russia, does it count? I did not leave though. I was in the airport for transit. Okay. How old were you when you learned how to ride a bike? Honest and nothing but the truth. I don't know how to ride a bike. Yeah. When I was back in Manchester, a co-worker of mine came with his bike and he said, "Fadhwa, I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike." And I'm like, "Sure." So I get on it, I sat, and that was it. Couldn't move, couldn't pedal, couldn't do anything. That was the first time I sat on a bike. And that was the last time I sat on a bike. Yeah, truth be told. 2020 maybe 2020. I'll get a chance to ride a bike. I'll get to learn how to ride a bike. I think it's about time. My daughter knows how to ride a bike. My son doesn't. So I think I'm going to take that upon. I'm going to teach my son how to ride a bike. But before I do that, I have to ride a bike. That's my 2020 initiative. Fadhwa learns how to ride a bike. I'm telling you. Okay. Next question. Have you forgiven yourself for personal failures? Why or not? Why not? Forgiveness. Forgiveness is the art of moving forward. Let me tell you. It lifts you up. It frees you up. It unburdens you. It unburdens you. Have I forgiven myself for my past personal failures? I don't look at it as personal failures. I look at it as a life lesson. I look at it as I learned from it, I'm growing from it, and I'm moving forward from it. I don't look at it as a failure. And remember, we will fall. And when you fall, it's when you fall and how successful you are picking yourself up from that fall. Your success will be determined by that fall. So I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as something that, yes, I fell, I picked myself up, and I'm growing from it. Have I forgiven for my mistakes? Absolutely. If I don't forgive myself for my own mistakes, if I don't own my mistakes and forgive myself for those mistakes, who would? Who would? When you're so easy in forgiving yourself, it'll be easy forgiving others too. You know that? And I'm telling you, it unburdens you for sure. Okay, next question. Oh, wow. This question is amazing question. I love it. Okay, this is what it is. One thing you know now that you wish you had known as a kid. One thing you know now that you wish you had known as a kid. I wish I'd known that I am strong, beautiful, charismatic, kind girl. That I'm beautiful as I am. And I shouldn't look at myself based on how others perceived me. Yeah, I'm telling you, I have stories to share with you in the next coming videos. And most of it is going to revisit my childhood, because we all have a past. And it's beautiful. And as beautiful as it is, there's some areas that we want to revisit, because those areas have shaped who we are today. And when you go back and you become at peace with that past, it allows you to move forward. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. Today, as I'm standing in front of you, I'm at peace. As beautiful as I am, with God's blessings, I'm at peace. And I know I appreciate myself more now than I ever did before. Full of gratitude for that. Okay, the other question would be, what would you say your best teacher was? My best teacher. Oh, I know a lot of people, maybe some will remember maybe their high school, the middle school, or university, or college, and say, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so made a difference in my life. Well, for me, life was my best teacher. Life taught me so many lessons that I could not get in school or in university. I'm telling you, life was my best teacher. It taught me lessons. It taught me who I am at a very young age to where I am today. So for sure, life is my best teacher. 2 more questions. I don't even know how many questions I've gone through here. Okay. Pick one. Comedy or horror movie? For those who know me, they know me too well. No horror movies for me. Comedy for sure. I love humor. I enjoy laughing when I'm watching a movie. And if there's a movie that there's humor in it, absolutely. I have a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, childhood friend of mine. She says that if she were to watch the same movie, okay, alone, and then she came and watched that same movie with me, her reaction will be completely different. The first movie she watches by herself, nothing, no humor, nothing, she will not get it. The minute she watches that same movie with me, she will not stop laughing. Okay, so I have the humor bug, humor virus. That's what I have. I pass it on to her, and I do it very well. Okay, so would you rather, last question, would you rather have an American accent or British accent? Well, let me tell you, Canadian accent is similar to American accent. There's not too much confusion. But when you go to Britain, okay, British accent, it varies, because I lived in London, I lived in Manchester. I know what Mancunian accent sounds like. And when you go to Liverpool, it's different. When you go to Bristol, it's different. When you go to other cities, it's different. When you're in London, it's amazing accent. You can understand it. But you go as far as Manchester, the Mancunian accent, it takes you a while to understand it. So you know what? No, thank you. As much as I love when Hugh Grant speaks in his British accent, when he speaks and he has that eloquent British accent, I love the accent. I love listening to it. But I'll keep my accent. I'm happy with my accent. I love Canadian accent. Everybody loves the Canadian accent. Are you kidding me? So Canadian accent is similar to American accent, so I'm going with my Canadian accent. Forget about American accent. I'm going with my Canadian accent for sure. Not British nor American, Canadian accent. even though my Canadian accent is not truly Canadian. I'm somewhere there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Well, I hope my Q&A, my question and answer session, gave you a chance to know a little bit about me. I'm working on other videos in the next coming days, and we're going to go in depth as how and the steps you can take to move forward and accelerate your life 2020 and beyond. How about that? Are you ready? I am ready and prepared, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a beautiful journey. I know we have a couple of days left before we get to the next year. I would like for you to take this moment before I put on the next videos. I would like for you to take this moment and take a notepad and start making notes. What are the things you're looking for in 2020? What is it that you're searching for? How does life look for you 2020 and beyond? I don't want you to think of it as, what is my 5-year goal or my 10-year goal? Those are wrong questions to ask. And I'll explain later in the next coming videos why those questions are wrong to ask and how you can go about changing your results right now to a better, brighter future. Okay, it's never too late. It's never too late. And you can go from where you are today to a life that you've always dreamed of. It is possible. It is possible. And I'll show you how you can do that and how you can attain that. I am in a place today that I have worked towards. It didn't just come. It didn't just happen. Nothing happens. Nothing just comes by chance. Nothing just happens. You have to put in the work. And for that to happen, you have to have that realization that I need change. So I want you to take this moment today and sit down somewhere quiet. Quiet, no noise, no disruptions. And just start making notes. What does life look for you 2020 and beyond? Your health, your financial, your relationships, everything, every aspect of your life, your spiritual side of you, every aspect of your life. How do you want to see your life? How do you want to see your life going from where you are to something even you've ever dreamed of? I know the one thing that we often stop ourselves from achieving what we want, we feel that it's too high. I cannot attain it. It's too high. It's too far. It's impossible. We create those barriers. And next thing we know, we've imprisoned ourselves with our own barriers. I am telling you, we can unshackle those barriers and we can get rid of those barriers today, starting today. So take a notepad, write down what you want. What is it you want in life? Be specific. Be specific and start creating that mental image in your mind. I want you to start doing that. In my next videos, we'll give you the tools and information on how you can go about that. It will take time. And I tell you today, it's not going to be easy. It will be hard. But let me tell you, nothing comes easy in this world. You have to work hard. You have to work on it. There's so many things in our life that we have to change. And unless we change, nothing will change in our life. For change to happen, we have to change. For change to happen, we have to change. For change to happen, yes, we have to change. So Accelerate Your Life 2020 and Beyond is all about changing you and transforming you and redefining you and you being the Van Gogh of your masterpiece. Yes, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Please share, subscribe. I want you to comment. Send me the questions that you feel I did not answer. You want to get to know me more? Send in your questions. You have any questions you want me to answer? Send them away. Don't be shy. I am a parent. I'm a single parent. You have questions about struggles or barriers that your kids are facing. Send them away. Share this with your kids. We need to have this dialogue with our children in our homes. We have to have these conversations. And we're going to visit those places that we never thought that were possible. Yes, change is about to come. it's going to be a beautiful journey. I tell you. Are you looking forward to it? I am looking forward to it. And I look forward to hearing more from you. Till next time, thank you.